This is the entry level from this side. So what we want to do, why we want to bring it to the pole, is we want to get the entry angle in a little bit shallower so smaller cars can pass easier. So make it wider, make it a little bit higher to match the height of that swale, just for the hell of it. And just so the bulldozers or the excavators or whatever comes to fix the road in the future sees what we've done here and don't break it. And then yeah, then we've got a exit bun entering the swale here. The dam effect that I wanted, or that I feared will happen here, has changed. I don't think we'll get a dam anymore. We've lifted it up sufficiently. It's got to drop towards that side there, open the swale up better, and then we'll have a better exit point. Spending a bit more time in the vegetable garden again this morning. Normal, pull a bucket of weeds and put a bucket of compost back. Now this is actually the first termite action I've seen in a while, and they killed this little papaya tree that was growing in this tire. First time I've seen these guys build here in a while. I wonder why all of a sudden they started now. Other papayas are doing good, and I wonder why they choose to eat that living papaya when there's loads of dead wood around just there, a meter away. That is very strange indeed. The olive trees that we planted a while ago, they are doing very well. Here you can see that looks like new growth to me. Ground covers have taken, living ground covers. Same with this one. I think this is new growth. Ground covers have taken. A constant fight on this place is rubble. This bottle was just thrown here. Now, this is a cultural thing. A couple of days ago I had a guy from very high up in the government bring his friends to come view some property. The very first thing, it was some open land almost like this one of mine. The very first thing that they did when they stopped is they threw out all of their cans. And you can see here as well, rope and plastic. It has to be picked up. But the very first thing when they stopped there is they threw out all of their cans out of the car, as if this was the most normal thing to do. And it is, in their culture it's a very normal thing to do. And this specific guy was so high up that they organized all of these cleanups in the street, and let's keep Potjwarongo clean, posters and everything. But in his personal capacity, throwing all of his cans in the bush or next to the street doesn't faze him at all. The next thing that was also a very big cultural shock is when one of the party then pulled out his genitals and just urinated there in front of everybody. And for me it's a cultural shock. For the girls, even the girls that was there, it was just the most normal thing in town. Nothing could bother them. So culture is a very strange thing to navigate around these parts. Something that you still get used to, even though I grew up, I've been to all of the southern African countries. Spent my whole life working with the indigenous African cultures, but still the Westerner culture in me comes in and it wants to change things. It wants to change cultures. Now, permaculture, I believe as well, is a cultural war. Somebody once said, we're not going to fix the world by inventing new things. Everything that we need to fix the world has been invented already. Now, I believe that's true. So what do we need? We need to change the culture in ourselves and in people. But as Stephen Covey said, focus on your circle of influence rather than your circle of concern. Something I struggle with often. I want to change the world and I want to fix everything and everybody, but I have to focus on the things that I can change. So digging little swales on my land, planting trees, those are the things that I can change. Changing the way other people think about, changing a whole culture and the way people think about Rubble isn't necessarily something that I can affect change on. But widening the swale, planting marula trees on that side, this is something that I can change. Lucas, I thought I'll give Lucas some easier work today. While I was in the vegetable garden, he disappeared, and then I found him working on that side again on the road, so he wants to continue there. Now saying we want to change cultures, there's also things in these cultures that's fantastic. You would go a million miles before you would find somebody as hardworking as Lucas. There is no way in the world that I can work as hard as Lucas can. I mean, I spend a lot of hours working, don't get me wrong. I get up before sunrise every morning, come out here with the guys, make my video, help them, and then I work until night where I see my clients. But it's not the same. It's not the same at all if you do that for 2 hours. Then you know, meeting clients and showing them properties, or fixing a mixer or a compactor, or building a new site or whatever, or it's not the same at all. Our culture war is also against people of my own tribe. Not long ago I was having a meal with some people that came to visit me at my house, wealthy people, and said, oh, this is quite a nice house. However, if this was my house, the very first thing I would do is cut down all of the trees. Anyway, so culture war. It's a culture war. Yeah, what I wanted to show you quickly from the Muscovy ducks. So we found 10 eggs. However, they were lying direct in the sun. Some were broken, some were eaten, and I decided to give these guys a little bit of a better chance. So we built those boxes. We're going to fill them with grass. These guys are going to be imprisoned here for the next 10 days or so, just so they know that it's their home now, and then we will start letting them out again. Since we introduced them into the food forest, we haven't had any problems with termites at all. We haven't lost any trees due to termites. Obviously the one from this morning we lost, but that's an area where they don't reach, and so they are very, very effective against termites. But I also really want to have some babies, so we're gonna give them a chance to have some eggs there. And those 10 eggs that we found today, Enzo and Moremi are going to cook them and eat them. I don't think they're gonna be able to come out anymore. They were very hot to the touch, like they were boiling. We had 38 degrees Celsius weather today, and they were lying straight in the sun, so it burns your hands when you touch those eggs. So it's almost like they were lying outside cooking already. But this place where the ducks are now is quite cold. So while I give you a chance to subscribe, I want to show you this new growth on the marula quickly. It's fantastic. And that is the end of my story. I will see you tomorrow again.